Well, good evening, friends. Welcome on in. It is a Friday night, and we're doing PBE stuff. And must mean one thing and one thing only: Prospect League. We have a little bit of an audible. I made two errors. One, I forgot that the wonderful TDenstroyer is joining me on Fridays, and secondly,
Yes.
Chadwick had a bit of a prior commitment pop up. So instead of we went from a two man to a three man back to a two man. A very long, convoluted way of me introducing one of the big people that work in the background when it comes to the prospect league file that makes my life or tries to make my life easier. You
I'm
may
slacking.
yeah you
No,
you
just busy.
you may know him as either Tunch Dentro or one of the wonderful GMs for the resurgent, shall I say, Buffalo
Oh,
Surge, T-Denstroyer. How's it going, friend?
yeah, I'm doing good. I see. It's the first time I've had a little graphic on the screen for the Prospect League, so I feel like I got an upgrade.
I upgraded the font. I didn't have enough time for me to jimmy rig what I did for Chadwick, nor do I have the proper program to use. I guess there's a template for these things, so I'm
Oh,
not
if I
graphically
really,
I'm
yeah.
graphically illiterate, so
Oh, I think it's perfect. As a matter of fact, the less you do, the better. I don't, they took my Windows seat away in the offices here, so I'm just grateful that you did what you did.
thankfully here in the makeshift booth you have the window seat, so
I do.
you get a nice view at least here in the booth. Even though we got to petition somebody in HO to put some money to renovate this booth because if there's three of us in here, man, there's no room. So we're gonna need to work on that for next prospect league. Um, but I also for we also have an extra free day of baseball. Um,
We do.
or rather an extra free quick sim day of baseball. We actually have mods in the chat tonight. So we have Tim G and I think Captain SB is going to be joining in sometime soon. We will have 4 games on the stream tonight. In fact, I have the list in front of me. Where is it? We're going to be doing 4 games. We're going to be going all the way up to, I forgot to do the third on Wednesday. So that's our free day. We're going to be going all the way up to the 14th. So basically 10 additional games. But we're only going to be streaming 4 games total. If I can multitask. Um, that's not my thing. We're going to be doing on the 6th, the 7th, and then the 11th and the 12th. We will be showing all 4 teams tonight, as we usually do. I think everybody but one team we get to see twice. That's just kind of how the rotation rolls. We'll eventually have a rotation where we'll have like 5 games and more opportunities. We do have one new player to welcome into the Prospect League at the buzzer, literally. Right as I was signing into the file to get ready for the stream, we had somebody create a player, and I don't know why everybody's gap power is so crazy. But hey now.
Well, it's relative. It's relative to the league
Oh
that
yeah,
you're in.
that's right. Duh,
So
right up
it's
there.
everyone in the prospect league is 100 TP. So
But
gap powers be a little better.
we have Leon Riztin, sorry, Flop Muto catcher for the South Machine. So our first catcher to the Prospect League. Welcome on in. Um, and then I know Tim's already in the chat. Tim, if you want to go ahead and throw up a prediction for that first game, by all means, go for it. It's going to take me a couple minutes to get there. Should be West versus the South. Um, but let's go ahead since we got that free day. Let's go ahead and let's finish the day.
Yeah, let's get it done.
So we have North and South, East and West. This is technically the final game of the series for both of these matchups. And it looks like the North, wow, a 6-run top of the 7th will get them over the hump 8-5. technically a comeback win for the North. Winton going 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Scotty Sterling getting on base with a walk. Bradley Wellerman, not one, but two home runs, and both of them were two-run shots, 2 for 3, 4 RBIs. I know he's in the chat. I saw him. Uh, where's Luigi? Louis Luigi,
Reach toes.
you you you
He's
you you
booing the mods.
you're not gonna be negative point one WAR, I believe, after this game. I sure would hope not, considering 2 home runs. And then for the South, Tiger Dawson going 2 for 5, couple runs. Catch 3 for 4 with a run and a walk. Risden in his prospect league debut, 2 for 4. Hector Roca also getting hits, 2 for 4. In fact, I think all the prospects getting on base in this game at least, or getting base hits. Whiplash will get the win. Reynolds the loss. Duggar the save. Bradley Wellerman is your pog, your player of the game. Starting off strong. Good thing we had this free day of baseball then, I
Yeah,
suppose.
we got to save it
And
the
then we got
first time.
the East and the West. Oh, what did I forget to do? I forgot to do something. What did I who did I forget to move over? Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. 11-3 in favor of the West. Man, another team with a 6-run inning. This time the 5th inning. Podwaru going 1 for 5. I McFish 1 for 4. Ended up being a home run, 4th home run of Prospect League. And then Dazen Giel 1 for 4. For the West, um, looks like Jose got a 3-run home run. Look at Jose go. Ted Johnless
We got a
getting
piece
an
of those too.
RBI. Grand Slam Dolph 1 for 3 with a ribby. Zach Hartman 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and a walk. Pee Wee Matthews will get the win. Marcus Peters, or sorry, is that Marcus or Magnus? I always get Magnus. Uh, Man, it's football season. Brandon Zahn will get player of the game. And then now we are back on
Now
track.
we're back on track.
We do have a couple more quick sim days. Hold on a minute. Multitasking, looking at chat at the same time. But yeah, we have West and South as the next stream game. If I don't know if Tim's still around. I saw him in chat earlier. If any of the mods want to put up a prediction while we work our way through this. Um,
They put a total strikeouts over under
oh,
10.5 here.
or did it finish already? Oh, it must have finished.
Yeah,
Oh, that's why I don't
I,
see it. My bad. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
I think it
Tim.
was a. I also think it was a short. It was a pretty short.
You went short and
break.
sweet tonight. Okay, I dig it. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Thank you for keeping me honest. Oh, we need to get a professional in here.
I disagree. That would just take away from the fun.
We're just gonna roll our way through this. We're just gonna burn down the stream probably. Oh, 2 minutes. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I appreciate you, Tim. East, after getting trounced by the West, comes back and trounces the North with 3 in the 7th and 6 in the 8th to go to a 14-4 win. Taking a look at the North, Scotty Sterling 1 for 4 with a run. And then Bradley Wellerman getting a hit as well, 1 for 3. For the East, Codwaru 3 for 5 with a run. Um, I McFish 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored, and Dazen Giel 1 for 4, 2 runs, 4 RBIs, most of them coming from a 3-run homer in the 7th. And also, Wellerman got a stolen base, 4th of Prospect League as well. Tipton will get the win, Shirazi the loss, Garfield the save, Lightning McQueen is player of the game. West and the South. 11-4 in favor of the South. Wow, lots of high scoring games to start start out the stream, especially in the later innings. Same thing here. 5 in the 7th, 4 in
Wow.
the 8th. Oh man, is this a hint of what's to come tonight? Taking a look at the box score, Slamdolf 1 for 3 with a run and 2 walks. Ted Jonalis 3 for 4 with an RBI. And then Zach Hartman also getting on base via a walk. For the South, Tiger Dawson 2 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Catch 1 for 5 with an RBI. Risden 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. Hector Roca 1 for 3, RBI run scored and a walk. Lots of doubles for the South. It looks like, or yeah, for the South. In this particular matchup. For pitching, Will Millis will get the win, Murphy the loss, and Bentley will get Bentley gets the blown save. William McDowell is your player of the game, and save. I believe we've got one more day of quick sims before we get into our travel day. That's a weird time for travel day,
Yeah.
right in the middle of the series. But that brings us to our first streamed game, and yep, West and South. So this is your first look at the at what we got going on here for these two teams, T-Den. I mean, any thoughts on what you see here? Looks according to OTP, looks like it's going to be a close one.
Well, I'm excited to see the new catcher, Leon Riston. He's starting off, been batting really well so far in his 2 games, 8 at-bats, 4 hits. So it's kind of got me curious. I'm looking at Zach Hartman on the other side. Why is his overall so much lower than everyone else's? Um,
That's an interesting
yeah,
question.
I don't actually uh, know what's going on with that. So interesting.
Set the third
I'd have to look
base.
at his build maybe.
Yeah, defensively, third base not looking too good. That could be why.
That probably is why. Yeah, I mean those overalls don't mean anything anyways. TP's a myth and overalls a myth too. Yeah, I don't know. Jose and Brandon Zahn on a team together. That's something I've never seen before. Kind of interesting. Generally, they've been spread out on different teams, so I think this is their first year they've ever been on the same team. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I'm really excited to see just some of these new people play. I like seeing less asterisks. So yeah, Tiger Dawson,
And yes, thank you for
solid leadoff
pointing
hitter.
that out. Um, for those who are this may be their first time watching a prospect league stream, basically what he was referring to, any player that does not have an asterisk next to their name is a actual prospect that will be in the minor league draft next weekend. So yeah, we definitely want to see less asterisks on the screen there.
So get your parents to join. Holidays are around the corner. You'll be at the family gatherings when you're going around the table. What are you thankful for on Thanksgiving? Make sure you're thankful for the PB and you explain the whole process to them. Get them on in here. Maybe grandma. Grandma can join.
Either that, or
Be
you
a
can do it
mother.
like Ricky Bobby and just do with racing.
That's true. Could do that too.
uh,
Maybe he's
that's so. Let's go ahead. I know everybody in chat's itching to see some fake baseball tonight. You want to do half half? You want to do 3-3-3? Does not matter to me.
uh yeah. I mean I don't care. Do you generally you call the games more like the regular streams, or do you just kind of sit back and chat? I know Enoch and I, when we do it, we just kind of
We
just
rotate. Since this is the first game of the stream tonight, I figured we'll do a little play by play on this one, and then we'll cruise in the middle too, and then we'll see what the fourth one looks like.
right. Yeah, I mean that's fine. We'll do half and half. I'll take the first 4.5 innings. if you want to finish the game off after that.
Works for me. Let's get on into it. West at the South. First game of the night. Get your K counters ready. Over under 10.5 is what the prediction is for this one.
True. All right, Harry's Rodriguez pitching to Jamal Black, who's going to ground out to Rocha. Second batter is Brandon Zahn. Good old Brandon Zahn, famous around these parts, but he also does strike out a lot, which is what he will do there. Jose up. Playoff Jose also grounds out Black to Harrison for the 5-3 put out. So that's it for the top of the first. Not much going for the West. Tiger Dawson's going to lead it off against Solo, and he is going to pop out to the left fielder. And then you got Winston Harrison batting, and he's going to hit it to the other first baseman, Brandon Zahn. And Gordon's going to finally get the game started with a 1-0 shot, sneaks over the fence at 384 feet, rounds the bases, putting the South up by one. One hit, one run. And I do not think that's going to be all they need to win the game, though, based on what we've been seeing today. A lot of heavy innings. 6-3 to end it for Colton James. Yeah, I'm expecting one of these innings to be a 5-6 run inning based on what we've seen in all the quick sims thus far. But we'll find out. Ted Gianalis, I don't know if I pronounced that right, is going to pop out to center field. Grand slammed off. Grand slams this one to center field as well. 2 outs, top of the second. We got Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo going to pop out to right field. Now that is a name. That is a fantastic name. So West has nothing cooking. They still have no hits. South is back up. McCringleberry's going to pop out to center field. It seems to be the theme of the second inning thus far. Cassius Kletch is also going to pop out to center field. So staying on theme, staying on brand. Leon Riston, the new joint, he is going to hit it to center field, but this one's going to drop in for a single. So Leon Riston is going to continue hitting very well to start off the Prospect League experience. Hector Roach beats one out to first base, and then the inning's going to end like it began with a pop out to center field. Who would have thought? So South gets a little bit moving there, but nothing could cross plate. So Zach Hartman's going to pop it out to the center fielder. So we're going to continue that, I see. Ash Ketchum pop out to left field. So Harry's Rodriguez is not getting the ball on the ground, but he's getting the outs, and he's going to strike out Jethro Gibbs. So he takes down all 9 batters in order. Not a single base runner, no hits through 3 innings. Harry's Rodriguez is having a really good start to this game. Tiger Dawson's going to hit it, and it's going to go, you guess it, to center field. Italian Solo, also actually pitching well outside of that home run. He's going to strike out Winston Harrison here, and we're going to have Gordon, the center fielder. Let's see if he wants to hit it to his buddy out to Jose. No, he will not. He's going to hit it to left field to Black. He's going to catch it in foul territory. Now, what do we got? We're at 2 strikeouts, right? Or do we have 3? I think we have 3. So Solo has 1,
Yep.
and Rodriguez has 2. So we're at 3. There's going to be a 4-3 ground out by Jamal Black. Brandon Zahn, the first baseman. He's going to strike out there number 4. So we're getting there. 6. Was it 10.5? Did you have? Is that what it was? And there's
Yep.
5. 10.5. So we're at 5 now. And Jose's going to drop one into left field. And there is another flyout to center field.
I was going to say we're technically at 4.
Oh, did he not strike out? There was a.
I know. Harris is at 3, and I think Italian's at 1.
Okay, for 4. Yeah, I thought I saw one. I was looking at the chat, and I kind of missed what was going on. A bobble, a fumble bumble at shortstop.
No, they're going to give him the hit.
Oh, wow. Well, that is, they got to be nice. They don't want to give people errors. Jethro Gibbs with his defense 1 rating. and I'm not really sure what happened there. That's also that wasn't even what's that? It wasn't a hit. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What what went on there? They didn't add a hit or an error, so I'm not really sure. Huh. Anyways, Roach is gonna strike out to end the inning. Sorry, I got really confused. Something happened at second base there, and I
It,
got hit to him, and he just kind of picked it up and stood there, and then
maybe
they didn't
neighborhood
add a hit
play.
or an error.
Maybe
Yeah, maybe.
because I think there
Maybe
was a
that's what
runner
it
at
was.
first, so could have tagged second unassisted.
Oh, okay. Maybe yeah. Maybe I'm just lagging behind or something like that. Who knows? Either way, the West is going to get a base runner, and Zach Hartman is going to hit into a double play, the 4-6-3. So West really able to get anything going. South just kind of leaning on that one 386-foot home run. We're not
And
really getting a
that's
whole lot.
gonna be
Oh, and that's
caught.
it. Your
What
turn, yeah.
what's interesting is we have I mean, I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm just going to say, we got something going on the out of town scoreboard, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Um,
Yeah, there was a couple defensive plays in that last inning that really kind of threw me for a
oh,
loop.
good effort, but that's gonna be an infield hit for Gordon. So runners at first, like with two outs, James is not gonna get the job done. So man, we saw a lot of high scoring games in the quick sim. We got ourselves a pitcher's duel so far through five, between the West and the South, as Ketchum's going to ground it to the third baseman for the first out, brings up Jethro Gibbs. He'll take the walk inside. Order resets to black, and that is going to be caught right by foul territory. Bring up Brandon Zahn. And oh, what a catch in center field by Gordon to steal the hit. So it remains 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the sixth. And you know what? I jinxed it. I jinxed it on the out of town scoreboard. I realized I did the announcer jinx and I was trying not to. As Catch will hit a fly ball to right, and it's
Don't
going to be
jinx it up.
caught by the center fielder.
It's your only power up here in the booth. Is
Yeah,
to jinx things. You might as well abuse it.
I jinx them all. Risden will get it to the corner, and it'll be a 2-out double. See if Hector Roca can do anything. And oh, it's bobbled. It's bobbled, and the run's going to score.
That's an error though. So
Yeah.
the double clutch, the double clutch at shortstop 4 times in a row. That's not an error. That
Strike out by McDowell, but the South get an insurance run. It's 2-0 as we head to the seventh. And Jose leading off against Rodriguez and lines it right to the right fielder. One away for Jonalis. Swing and a miss. Strike three. 2 outs. It's likely going to be an E6. I've noticed OTP gives it to the person throwing it rather than the person bobbling the catch, as Slamdolf will ground out to retire the side. Stretch time, 2-0 South. As we head to the
in
home
all
half.
fairness,
It,
the shortstop should have 3 errors, and he only has two. So you be thankful.
yeah. TDenstroyer, to a scorer's table near you, as that is gone. Dinger time for Winston Harrison. South putting another insurance run. It is now 3-0 here in the bottom of the seventh. First home run of Prospect League for Winston Harrison. And now with 1 out, here's Robert Gordon. Will take a walk. So the inning will continue on. Runner first, 1 out for Colton James. Caught looking, strike three. And now there's 2 away for Hingle McCringleberry. Oh, ball gets away. That's going to be a wild pitch charge to Bentley. So we're at second now. Lined right to the first baseman, though, and the side is retired. Out of
Easy
town
catch.
scoreboard, 5-1 East, as that is in the bottom of the sixth. We head back here, top 8, Shabadoo. Line drive base hit to right. See if they leave Rodriguez in. They leave Rodriguez in. Pitch Hartman. No, that gets away. That's going to be a wild pitch to Rodriguez. Runner at second with no outs. That's inside ball 4. So Hartman walks. Rodriguez stays in to pitch to catch him. And that's going to be a fly ball to center field. And they're going to send the runner to third. So runners in the corners, 1 out. This is technically the tying run as Gibbs. That falls in for a
Yep.
base hit. And it's
Nope.
3-1. So the tying runner is aboard. And the leading runner, top of the order for Black, inside ball
Wow.
4. The bases are loaded.
Wow. And Brandon's the wily
And
veteran home run leader of the team.
and now they put in Duke Smith, who will strike out Zahn, and it's going to be Jose with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And that is going to be caught in right field.
Wow.
What a catch by McDowell.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. You could say that again. 3-1 side retired. Catch will hit a fly ball to center field for out number 1. Now Riston, the catcher, grounds it to the shortstop. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. New pitcher Kylo Ren pitching to Hector Roca, who hit a fly ball to right, and that will be caught for out number 3. It's a 3-1 game. West need to get at least 2 runs here in the top of the 9th. And leading off will be Ted Jonalis to face Duke Smith. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down, and now Grand Slam Dolph. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the West are down to their final out, and it'll be Shabadoo. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strike out the side and the south.
I had a bad beat.
It could be. I lost track. We're about to find out. 3-1 is the final, and 13. I see 13 strikeouts. 15. So overs did get it. Oh yeah, don't worry, Tim. Usually when you guys do those, we can just see them in the box score. So no biggie on that. So yeah, overs did get the win. For the West, Jose, Shabadoo, and Gibbs all getting hits. For the South, Riston 3 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Hector Roca also getting a base hit. Harris Rodriguez will get the win. Duke Smith, a 5-out save, striking out 4 of them. And then
error was the third baseman, by the way.
Yeah, I figured, yeah. Because usually whenever I don't think I've ever seen a first baseman get charged an error in OTP for not catching the ball. I could be wrong, but
the Rizzler, the Rizzler's been doing well. Shinemi's the new crate.
Yeah, 583.
Yeah, not bad. 3 games in. Yeah, I don't know.
Italian Solo will take the hard luck loss. Harris Rodriguez is your player of the game. And then 7-2 ended up being the final between the East and the North. And also, by the way, Tim, East and or North at the East is our next stream game. If you want to go ahead and get a prediction up if you haven't done so yet, I appreciate it. Taking a look at the box score for the North, Winton getting a base hit, going 1 for 4. Bradley Wellerman 2 for 4. RBI double and a run scored. And then for the East, Cod Ruru 3 for 5, 3 ribbies, a run scored. And then I McFish 1 for 4 with another home run, 5th home run for Prospect League for I McFish. And I've missed this. Cod Ruru actually got their first home run of Prospect League as well in this game. Days and Giel 2 for 3, also getting a home run, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. For the pitching, Jack Nitro will take the win. Bakugo the loss. Catch does get a hold. That is another created player, Eddie Catch. And Kadwaru gets player of the game. and then go ahead and save. Oh, did you already put one up? I'm sorry. For full disclosure, I can't look at Twitch chat on my other monitor. I learned the hard way on Wednesday. I can't have OBS, Twitch, and the game going all at the same time. Everything just my computer just gets mad at me, so I have to look at Twitch chat on my MacBook. So I have my MacBook to my left here, and it's kind of at a weird angle, so I can't see
Nice.
chat all the time. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you and all the other great mods that we have not only tonight but also for tomorrow night and well, doubleheader tomorrow, which we will, we'll have time to talk about that as well. But let's go ahead. Did I not advance the day?
10 seconds. 10 seconds to get your predictions in. I put 7,000
There we
points
go.
on the under, so might as well go and put 10 points on the over, everybody. Cost nothing, gain a lot.
Did you? Were you the one that put out? Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep. There's only one of two people that will do a value bet. It's an inside joke that we've had on Prospect League streams. Um, it's either myself, which I could have, because I could have actually wagered in this. Now that I think about it,
Did
it's
too much.
myself or the actual person who did do the value bet, as we affectionately call it. Good old Fetty. I see Fetty in chat.
Yeah,
Managed to get one in
Fetty with
there.
it. Yeah, well, last Prospect League stream, I kept putting 60,000 points on different bets, and I just kept winning. So I was just collecting everyone's channel points, and I didn't mean to. I was trying to really give them away because it's a good time for Prospect Leaguers to get some free money because every 10,000 points is 1 million uh, PBE bucks. So
And
watching the channel and
yes,
making the bets, you can make money to help your player with training and purchase equipment and stuff like that.
yes, and
So
for those, if you've already done this, you don't have to do it again. But basically, if you do redeem that reward for the 1 million PBE dollars, make sure you fill. I put it's exclamation point Twitch form. I put it in the chat. You only need to do this one time ever, unless you obviously change usernames or whatnot. That way the mods can attach your Twitch name to your PBE username, so that way if you do redeem, you get paid, or they pay the right person. Um, so yeah, if you've not done so, go ahead. I would highly recommend you do it. But we got North and the East up on screen. The prediction was over under. Oh wow. I I could see why everybody. I was wondering why everybody went under. I thought it was something else. I thought it was hits. But I was like, oh, home runs. Okay, interesting. This should be.
I
Watch we get.
mean, the thing in the Prospect League, you could get an 8-run inning, and all 8 of them are solo shots, or you could get absolutely no home runs throughout the entire game.
I mean,
So
for what it's worth, 4.5. It doesn't seem that far because considering the fact that the East just had a game where they hit, I believe, 3 home runs. Um, Also, Lightning McQueen is near the top of the leaderboard in home runs, and then I McFish is not too far behind for the East. And then you have the North; they have several players. Wellerman leads the team in home runs right now. I mean, so 4.5. I mean, and it look, and I don't see any wind. I don't see any weather. I'm assuming no wind. Usually if there's a roof, it'll say roof closed or something, which is why I thought it's funny Toronto's stadium somehow had a roof because the roof closed for one of the games that we watched. But I mean, any observations that you see as far as these lineups are concerned?
Uh, no, I don't see any holes in either lineup, and as with Prospect League streams, it generally looks pretty even across the board. That being said, here it does look like the Mounties kind of own everything but the 5 and 6 hole. But again, that doesn't really mean anything, and I take those little I don't know, the little logo who has better at each spot. It doesn't really mean anything to me. So yeah, nothing really glares or sticks out. we do have Luther McIntosh as the non-bot pitcher, so that's the new create. And I always like watching the new create pitchers over. I always like seeing a game where one of the pitchers is an actual recreate rather than a just two bots battling it out. So I'll be cheering for Luther McIntosh just because he's not a bot. That's where I'm at.
Well, let's get on into it. Don't we're gonna cruise our way through this one. Let's get the game started. Um,
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
so I know Tunch had a great season. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, entering this current season that we're finishing up, I want to say Tunch entered this season with the most TPE out of everybody. Am I right?
So
Or
I don't think he was in the top. He was in the top. He's
was
definitely
it the
in the top
previous
10.
season?
Yeah, no, I don't. He was in the top five, I think, or something. There's a couple people in my class that are a little higher than me. And then there was a couple S34s still. I don't think any S34 eclipsed me. I don't know. To be honest, I don't keep track of the TP because once you get over a certain amount of TP, like I'll say 14 as an example, 1500 is probably that point for me. Especially as a magician catcher build. I'm just throwing TP into things that just straight up don't matter. it's, I mean, I'm at the point like I don't know what my TP marker was where I didn't have anything useful to put TP into. Uh, I mean, this season I don't know if I don't think I've put TP in anywhere this season that mattered, which is kind of a bummer, but kind of is what it is. So yeah, I don't know where I end up on the TP leaderboard. I think it was top 10.
Now, in even bigger news, I guess, and coming from somebody who entered PB season 38, I know at that time, um, Buffalo, which is the team that you co-GM, had not had a winning season up to that point, but the last few seasons, things have been looking very bright um, in the northeast part of the country in Buffalo. I mean, are we going to see more improvement heading into next season?
So I think next season's gonna look very similar to what this season looked like. There's a home run, right?
Or well, I guess current. I shouldn't say former, current Swifty Boog Bear in prospect. This is he's technically inactive. That's why he's also in the prospect league. Shout out
Right.
to Punk for throwing in a lot of Swifties just to make me laugh. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, I'd imagine this season we're gonna still be pretty competitive. Um, Again, the Legends East is just a slugfest. I mean, really, all four teams the last three seasons, when you run your sims and you're testing out for the year, I've seen all four teams win the division every year that I'm testing it. So who knows? It's one of those that if the sim loves you, um, you could win the division. If the sim hates you, they'll have you leading the division until the last sim day and then have you blow it. So that was fun this year. Uh, but as a GM, all you can do is continue to put the best team you can on the field and just make the adjustments that you believe will help your team, and then just hope the OTP gods kind of bless you. Um, but it was uh, it was unfortunate to lose the division last day. It was really the whole last week was pretty rough for us sim wise, but yeah, I think next year we'll be all right. Uh, a lot of our team is entering regression, so that is the concern. But regression is TP is a myth. So don't let anyone convince you otherwise. It
It,
isn't a myth. It's not an actual myth, but it is. The joke is that I've had better seasons
that
with
is
less
way
TP.
gone.
That's number one. Yeah, so that's number two.
Lucas Jameson this time around. That's a 3-run shot. 4-0 East here in the bottom of the third. I've also heard, depending on which side of the regression, depending on which side you're on, um, I've also heard regression is thievery, which I think is kind of funny if you ask me. I mean, I'm not in
Thievery.
I'm not in regression yet. I'm sure when I do hit regression, I'm gonna be like, this is thievery. This is
Oh
stealing.
yes, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Regression's such a healthy part of the league because it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm just this next season's gonna be regression for Tunch, and I'm really looking forward to another year of Tunch because that's basically what it equates to. I'll have him for about another year, maybe a little less, and then I get to recreate, and that's always a fun thing because then it's you get to make a brand new player, get back in the prospect league, go through the minors again. So I don't know. It does suck because you spend a year of your life building up this player, and then you start losing all those attribute points. But hey, that's baseball. You age out in baseball too, and the whole point of it's to be a sim. So
Now, for
I'm
I mean,
here for regression.
I'm a pitcher, so I at least in my brain, I mean, thankfully I already have a name. I already have a name for, when I get to recreate, even though it's not going to be for a little while.
About
Considering,
a year as well. About a year. You're only 3 seasons behind me, so
um, I think well, if towards regression, I believe this would be year 6 because I spent 2 and 3/4 seasons in the minors. And this is my third season
yeah,
in Cancun.
yeah.
Um,
So you're gonna be what? You're S38.
uh, well,
So
technically 39 draft class, but I joined PB during S38. Those numbers
oh,
always,
you're an
yeah,
S39. Okay.
yeah, it
Yeah, yeah. It's
those,
the year you become eligible for the majors draft is what the S
yeah,
number is on your player, and that is the one that goes. So it's 9 years from then that you will be. Uh, just add 9 to whatever your S number is, and that's the year you'll start facing regression.
yeah. So I got, yeah, about what is that,
About
35
4.
weeks, give or take, 5
Yeah,
seasons.
yeah. And then the first couple years of regression really. I mean, if you're max earning or high earning even, or even middle earning, your first couple years of regression aren't as painful. After I want to say 3 or 4 years of regression, then it starts getting kind of. Then you start looking at the TP number dwindling, and you're thinking to yourself, "All right, what's my next recreate gonna be? 'Cause
L-
this kind of stinks." But
listen, listen, Luigi, listen. If by the time that I hope this is going to be a thing because by the time that I recreate or think about recreating, we're going to be probably using OOTP 25. I'm assuming. Um,
good chance.
um, I'm going to hope and pray and cross my fingers, my toes, and anything else I can cross. As that is gone, Days and Geel.
Bye bye. That's
It,
number 3, right?
I believe so. It is 5-2 East. Um, dang, we couldn't give Geel a bigger beard. Technically, that's
No.
Punk's recreate. Wanted to see a bigger beard. Um, but if I'm going to recreate a player, I'm going to hope that by OTP 25 we will bring back one part of the game that I absolutely love, and it's one of the few things that I'm old school about: the good old bunt. If if
Oh,
bunting
you
was a
want to make
thing,
a fun start?
I would totally make somebody put me in the top of the order. I'm gonna just drag bunt the whole time. That
Yeah.
would be
I mean,
my deal.
so there's a bunt slider for players, but it's impossible to
That
increase
is
the bunt
4.
attribute. Well, there we go. This is what
Lightning
I said. You're
McQueen.
either gonna end up with a bunch of so home runs, or you're gonna get none. So the over bet is looking to the value bet here is looking to make some money. One more home run.
Fetty's gonna be a
Uh,
happy camper here, hopefully.
that
Just
being
need one
yeah,
more.
that being said, Dirk HO or HO should say that he's GM of Lunar Base just put out a feeler for he's looking for a testing co-head for OOTP 25, and I just put that in the chat. So digging a little
Oh,
more into
hang on.
OOTP.
You don't have mod rights, do you?
No, I am not a mod.
Hang on.
I'm a
Hang on, I
slumlord.
got you.
I'm a slumlord prospect league guy. You know, I
I'll put up
like
the
to
link
do.
because since I have mod rights, I'll put up that link. Um,
Oh,
I was wondering why I just saw three like asterisks. I'm like, wait a minute, what? And then that's when you said, oh, I shared the link. It's like, oh, okay, that's what that was supposed to be.
yeah. I'm actually just cussing.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, if anyone prospect league do join, recreate anyone in general that's watching right now is interested in seeing what is involved in balancing the game and the different archetypes. Dirk did just put that out today, so
And there it is.
there it is,
Days
the
and
overhit
Gil multi-homer game, and it is
steals my
9-2. And you're welcome, Fetty. You're welcome. You're welcome. I could have value bet on that too. We've gotten less. Now you get it all. And one more for good measure.
money. Telling you, we're on the way to 8.
Back to back dinger time. This time Cod Ruru. And it is now 10-2. Man, I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but hey, guess what? It worked out. It serendipity as
Very psychotic. Luigi says you're psychotic. He meant psychic, but he said psychotic. Oh, that's funny.
and I do want to point out Fetty is also the one that always says bet over. Doesn't matter, always bet the over.
I mean,
So
I agree with that. I actually agree. It's more fun to cheer for the over than the under. Who wants to cheer for no home runs? That's a terrible way to watch baseball.
wait, did I say psychotic? I thought I said psychic.
So,
Or that's not about in chat. Never mind. I'm like I'm
yeah,
behind.
yeah,
I'm
no,
like, wait a minute now. I don't need to be I don't need to get a DM from like HO. Did you call someone this on the stream? I'm here to make money on a Friday. I'm not here to you know give it away to wherever the fine PBE money goes.
well, it
To
would be the COC reaching out
oh
to you,
yeah, that's right,
probably
COC.
not
You
HO.
know I, I had the acronym in my head, but it's a Friday night, and yeah, anything goes. I mean, you know what? In my world, it's HO. We'll go with that. In Prospect League world,
It's true.
but another high scoring. We saw a lot of high scoring games in the Quick Sim, and we were wondering why we didn't see it in the first stream game. Well, now we got it because
Yeah,
it
it's not a
is.
very good high scoring game though.
I mean,
And to believe it or not, the East Mounties. I should probably put more stock into the pregame predictions apparently because the East Mounties are absolutely laying it on the North Robots here, which is what the prediction said lineup wise. But next game, the North's probably going to win 15-1. So, here's the way of the Prospect League. As
I'm
everyone's finding their footing with their 100 TPE.
dare I ask Tim, who had 52 and who had 3? I know that's football, but okay, it was against the Lions. So who had 52 then? So it doesn't.
I don't know. The Lions are pretty good this year. They're 6-2.
Oh, nobody tell Punk that. Nobody tell Punk that.
The 49ers. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't think the 49ers are as good as the Lions right now. So, it's
Speak
actually,
speaking
depending
of
on what year of Madden it is.
speaking of predictions, and we may have to. This may roll over to our next stream game. I'll let you have at it because I'm going to be biased, of course. Predictions for tomorrow.
Well, I have no idea. But what I do like about it is that no matter who wins, it's a different. It's just different this year. So the majors, uh, I don't have. I feel like Cancun. It just feels like Cancun's year. And it just felt like that to the regular season and the other side, the Champions Conference. Just watching them win, it feels like the Sim loves Cancun this year. Um, so it's really hard to pick against them. Uh, I know that's what you want to hear. But on the other side, Toronto's got a really well built club. Rabbit does not mess around. He has built that team from the ground up. A lot of that team is still pretty young, so I think this might be year one of Toronto. I could see Toronto making it back a few years in a row. I do not think this is going to be Toronto's only shot, and I don't think it's going to be Cancun's either. But it just feels like Cancun this year to me. Like, and that's just a gut feeling because it really could go either way. But we'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to be a really good series. Toronto is definitely good enough to win. Uh, it's just, I guess, whatever the sim wants to love more, whoever the sim wants to make happy. And then on the other side of the minors, talking about that, the Lemurs and the Firehawks. That's an exciting World Series for me because I was a California Firehawk with Tunch Denstro and loved that locker room. Still do. And then on the other side, there's the Louisville Lemurs, who haven't ever won a World Series, and I think they have the best team in the minors, TPE wise. So I think Louisville's going to probably take that, but there's no guarantee on that one either. So we'll see. Some good series, really good series tomorrow. I'll let you go through these box scores though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just I'll point out very quickly last season for the Miners World Series, considering Swifties did win it, but even though you would have asked me at the beginning of the season we're going to sweep Chicago, I would have been like, what
That
did
was
you
shocking.
have? What did you eat or drink anything before talking to me? If so, what? And can I have some? Um, so yeah, anything can go
Yeah,
in the
that
minors. That's for sure.
I don't think anyone saw that. Yeah, I just the Louisville has a really tough lineup. All their pitching, starting pitching is really solid. So to me, it feels like theirs to lose. But it is the minors. The minors is even more chaotic than the majors. And the majors you can pretty well predict kind of where things are going to land. Usually, it's the wild cards that at the beginning of the season you're unsure about. Of course, there's always twists and turns and things change. It's not always that way, but I feel pretty confident going into each season, seeing these are playoff teams and then these are playoff potential teams. And with the minors, it's just like who really knows. Usually, there's one team that you can just guess isn't going to make the playoffs, but then the rest of the nine could just take it all. So
Exactly. And to answer your question, Fetty, yep, all the home runs in this one were hit by the East. You're absolutely correct on that. 6 in total. In fact, all of the prospects for the East got on base in some way, shape, or form. Codrew going 3 for 5 with 3 runs. And then I McFish getting a walk. Gill 3 for 4 with the 2 home runs. And then for the North, Scotty Sterling getting a hit and a walk. Winton getting a hit, a run, 2 walks. Bradley Wellerman, a hit, RBI, and a run scored. For the pitching, Kinsella will take the win. Luther McIntosh, the loss. Dazen Giel will be your player of the game. And then for the West and South, it was I'm assuming a combined 4 hitter. Yeah, combined 4 hitter, 6-0 West will get the win. I see Brandon Zahn got 3 ribbies and Jose got 3 hits. As far as the prospects go, Journalists getting a base hit, Slamdolf getting a run scored. For the South, Riston and Roca both getting a base hit. Roca getting their second stolen base. Jimmy G figured out how to throw a baseball, still trying to figure out how to throw a football, but will get the win. Scott Sterling will take the loss. And if nope, I'm thinking of another team. Never mind. I was gonna say I was like, did we get another Sterling versus Sterling? But I got my teams mixed up again. What else is new? Let's go ahead and save and finish the day. I believe we have a couple quick sim days before we get to our next streamed game, which will be South versus the East. Um, so we get to see the South and the East again, and then we will finish out the stream the day after that with South versus the North. But in the meantime, we got some quick some box scores to look through. 8-4 West will take the win over the North. Scotty Sterling 3 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs, and a walk. And then Winton going 3 for 3, an RBI, 2 runs scored, and a walk. For the West, Ted Jonalis 2 for 3 with a run scored. Grand Slam Dolph 1 for 4 with an RBI. Zach Hartman getting a walk and a run scored. For the pitching, Pee Wee Matthews the win. Dion Mitchell. Yep, Dion Mitchell will get the loss. Ash Ketchum will be your player of the game. South are on the road versus the East. And it's going to be a walk-off in the bottom of the ninth, 4-3. What was the walk-off? It was a walk-off RBI double by Lucas Jameson to get the win. In fact, it was what started it off was Cod Ruru getting on with an error scoring McFish, who was originally hit by a pitch. And hey, look at that. There was a bunt involved too. My
That's
old
what you
school
want.
heart is happy. There was a bunt involved. Take a
There
look
you
at the
go.
box scores. Tiger Dawson and Cassius Catch both going 2 for 5. Riston continuing to hit the baseball 1 for 3. Um, which as he Catch also had a double. Dawson had a stolen base. For the East, Cod Ruru 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. And then McFish scoring a run. Looking at the pitching, 1984, the blown save and the loss. Garfield will get the win. Magnus Peters is your player of the game. Let's go ahead and finish the day. I mean, Tim, listen. I mean, does Jimmy G know how to throw the football? Yes or no? I don't see him lighting up scoreboards. So I don't feel like that was a dig, even though I'm clicking the wrong button. Multitasking. North and the West. Looks like the West will get the win 8-3, even though the North tried to make it interesting with 4 runs in the top of the ninth. Taking a look at the box score, Scotty Sterling 4 for 5, RBI, 2 runs scored. Winton getting a base hit, Wellerman a walk and a run scored. Looked like Scotty Sterling got their fifth home run of the season here in Prospect League. For the West, Grand Slam Doll 4 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored. Ted Jonalis 1 for 5 with a run scored. Zach Hartman 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run as well. For the pitching, Beware of Strikes will get the win. Shirazi the loss. Scotty Sterling will be your player of the game. South and the East. And it's going to be another walk-off. How's about a comeback? So 2 runs tied in the bottom of the ninth, and then a walk-off in the bottom of the 10th to give the East the
Wow.
5-4 win. So it got tied on a 2-run home run by Press Duckley in the bottom of the ninth. And it was a wild, oh my gosh. Or no, I'm sorry. I saw wild pitch. I was like, surely it was not a walk-off. It was actually a walk-off sac fly. Although walk-off wild pitch would have been, um, I don't know, funnier or better. Or even, what would be the best walk-off? A walk-off suicide squeeze. That would be the best walk-off. That's actually happened in real life, I think 3 times this season. And one team did it twice. I'd love to see if
Imagine.
I love to see if anybody in chat knows which team that was. And the
I'm
only
guessing
reason I know
Nationals.
that
I don't know.
the only
I
reason
don't
I
know the
know
answer.
that is because and it's a shout out to the wonderful person who chose our Prospect League team names this season, winning the charity auction, Attica, because Attica knows Attica gives me a hard time all the time because I love the bunt. And he sent me both of them actually. That's how I know. Um, but yeah, did have at least one team do a walk-off suicide squeeze twice in the MLB season this past season. Um, but taking a look at the box scores, Catch going 3 for 5 with a ribby, Dawson 1 for 4 with a run scored and a walk. Riston 3 for 5, hitting 522 still to start off Prospect League. Catch also had a double for the East. Codroo 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. I McFish getting an RBI and a walk. For the pitching, 1984 for I believe it's the second game in a row. Blown save and loss. And then Tucker will get the win. Woe Millis is the player of the game. Let's
Yeah,
go
so
ahead
I got
and save.
I got one team that did it. Uh,
You got one.
I got one team that did a suicide squeeze, but I don't know if they did it twice.
Okay, who is it?
I believe the Royals did it earlier
So
this
it
season.
it actually is the Royals. The Royals was the team that did it twice in the season.
Interesting.
Um man, I love it. I loved both of them were such great solid bunts and it shocks me that a lot of professional baseball players these days like nobody practices pepper anymore.
So you would, I mean, the Diamondbacks this year were that team that kind of showed that the small ball is still alive and well. I don't know how much you watched of the NL Championship Series, but it feels like they dinked and dunked to their way to the World Series.
Um I mean, I may or not have watched it, considering I'm a Phillies fan.
Oh, so
Um,
I don't know how much you watched of the NL Championship Series, but the Phillies got their asses handed, excuse me, their rear ends handed to them with a bunch of small ball. So, no, that was a really good series, actually. I really
wait.
enjoyed that. But,
So,
I live in Arizona, so.
just I just realized something too. I don't know if you want to put up a quick prediction, Tim, since we are at the next stream game, and then to give you time to maybe do a quick prediction. I do have a comment on what you just put in the chat too. I did not know Ichiro's been ejected in his career. I cannot I just cannot visualize it. I'm gonna have to look that up after the stream. I did not know he was like, was this early in his career or was this like later in his career? I don't know. I just like Ichiro's like a mild mannered guy. Like I I just have a really tough time grasping it. And I mean, I could see him being mad if considering the if you're saying the was petty.
So I'm looking it up. It was in 2009. So,
I'm surprised
2009.
Ichiro's only been hit 56 times in his career because well, actually, no. I'm sorry. I take that back. I'm not surprised because if I remember correctly, Ichiro does not, he doesn't go up towards the plate. In fact, the whole reason why he was a left-handed hitter to begin with was because he was closer to first base. That was the whole reason behind that. So I think he actually sets up um, more away from the plate, so because he's even closer to first base. Although it's been forever since I've seen Ichiro hit, so I have no idea if that's right or not. But um, I guess I wouldn't be too surprised about 56 in his whole career. Even though I guess if you think about it, it's only like what it's like 2 or 3 a season because he played for about what 18. He played for a very long time. I do see
18
a
season.
18. Thank you. Um, by the way, I do see a
2010
prediction up.
played.
Thank you, Tim, for the prediction. Who will win, South or the East? I'll let y'all excuse me, get that prediction in. But sorry, you're about to say?
I technically played 19. He played 2 games in 2019 with the Mariners, but yeah, basically played 18. And he really had 11 years of dominance in the. He kind of when he went to the Yankees for those 3 years, he did well. He was an above average hitter, but yeah, it's kind of funny how dominating he was his first 11 years at the plate. I mean, his 311 career average was pretty much based off of those 11 years. And after that, he just kind of sailed through the rest. Like good old Ichiro Suzuki. And absolutely, I don't know if we'll ever see a hitter like him. I don't think we will. Maybe in the prospect league, but
Also,
probably not in real life.
shout out to whoever tried to. I don't. I tried to get. I got my wager in because it was at the buzzer, so I couldn't see
Ooh,
who it was. But I have a feeling it was Fetty. That's partly why I did it. So it's the prediction is even 50-50 down the middle as far as the South and the East. We're not going to do play by play on this one either. So let's go ahead and at least get started and we can continue on with
yeah.
our conversation. Um, but let me see. What Ichiro's a 3-2 count. Pitchers outside showed. So is this ejection on YouTube? Because if it is, I'm definitely gonna watch it after the stream. Because
Oh, it's
I'm
it's all over. I
I'm a
specifically
big guy with ejections. In fact, honestly, ooh, thank you. I'm a I mean I'll open it, but I'm not gonna watch it the moment. Well, I guess I could.
do whatever you want. 51 seconds long. People are
It's 37 seconds. I really
impatient.
want to.
Oh, you got a different one. Okay.
And I'm watching on my MacBook. But
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I can tell you that for a Japanese player to get ejected, it had to be pretty egregious. Because I actually umpired in Japan for 2 years, and it was all high school baseball. So I umpired a lot of high school baseball in Japan. I've been umpiring 16 years. Um, only have done up to high school. There was a time I had ambitions to do more, but then I had to like put my dreams aside and actually be an adult. But when I was umpiring in Japan, before they come up, before a Japanese player would go to bat, we did a lot of Japanese versus American tournaments, or Japanese and American. So Japanese teams would play, but then also American teams were there. And Japanese kids, before they got in the bats, they always bowed, to the umpire. And I was like, first time he did it, I was kind of like, well, you don't have to do that. I'm probably gonna blow a call pretty soon, but appreciate it. But so I mean that's the culture they have there when it's surrounding baseball, though. I mean, very respectful to the umpires. I mean, they grow up playing baseball that way. So to see Ichiro get ejected, that's to me that's just like not expected from a Japanese-born player, just because that's not how they're brought up. It's just such a different culture. You really don't get. I never got haggled or hassled from any Japanese parent, coach, player, or whatever. Like they might disagree with your calls, but you would never know the difference. I mean, it's such a respectful. It was so pleasant to actually umpire them. I
yeah,
felt like I was allowed to make a mistake,
yeah.
but I tried not to. I take my professionalism when I'm behind the plate pretty seriously, but yeah, I mean, it was really pleasant. I would go back and umpire in Japan 100 out of 100 times. It was awesome.
I, before I ask an open question to not only you but also chat, I do want to I because um Tim just shared an iconic um moment in baseball. As I say iconic just because it was also kind of like I don't want to say our era, but um when Randy Johnson hit the bird with a pitch. Um I have a fun fact on that. I have a fun fact for that one. Well, not that specifically. Um I have actually done that personally. Not on purpose at all.
Really? You
it
hit a bird with a baseball.
I hit a and it had an even funnier ending too. So it was just me and my friend, it was in high school. We went to there was a park about 5-minute walk from
Okay.
our house, from my house, and like 10 from his. And we'd go over there, and we just because I pitched in high school, kind of. Um, and I've always loved pitching a baseball, so that was kind of our way of just hanging out and whatnot. And so I was on the mound, I was throwing, and he was catching. And I remember throwing a pitch, and I saw, like, out of the corner of my eye, a white puff, and my friend yelling "ow" because obviously couldn't see the baseball because I hit a bird, and that ball ended up hitting a not so fun spot.
Oh
So,
no!
I
Hit him in
killed
his elbow,
I killed 2 birds with 1 stone, I guess you could say.
or you killed two stones with one bird.
Yeah.
Technically, it's two stones and one bird there.
Um, so,
uh,
it's funny that and it blows my mind too, and I might age myself here a little bit. There used to be a show called Sports Science. I don't know why they don't make that show anymore. I'm gonna say ESPN killed it. Um But it was
Probably.
such a great show because they did all these tests, and one test they did was trying to not only recreate somebody hitting a bird, but also kind of, like, trying to figure out, like, numerically, like, what the, odds of that happening were. And what they did to test, they found a pitcher, I don't remember which pitcher, but, they found a pitcher, and then they got one of those guns that you would see at stadiums to shoot T-shirts, into the
Okay.
stands. They used one of those, but instead of
They shot a
T-shirts,
bird out of
well, not a pigeon bird, but they bought, like, chicken, like, frozen, like, whole chickens, and shot those out of the cannon and tried to recreate it that way. It was such a cool show. Oh,
They were shooting it.
Brain Sur that's a game show, isn't it? I'm assuming that's a game show. When I think of Brain Surge, I think of Brain Games, which is also another, even though that's not technically a game show, um, but I do have an open I kinda went off the, I kinda went off a little bit. I do, because I love ejections. I love watching ejections. So open question, kind of, I guess, not ask the booth, but ask the chat and the booth. Like, not, maybe not favorite ejections, but, like, it doesn't have to be a favorite ejection, but, like, maybe like, for me, I don't have a favorite ejection. There's too many of them. For me, like, I if there's 3 people I would love to see get
Bobby
ejected
Jack.
all the time, it would be Bobby Cox,
Yep.
um,
Gotta go with Big Bobby on that one.
Lou Piniella, and
Okay.
this one might be a little bit off trail. Lloyd McClendon. I've always enjoyed Lloyd McClendon's ejections. But on the flip side of that, if the ejection involves Joe West, um, another mutually hated umpire, Angel Hernandez, or another umpire that retired recently, Bob Davidson. Those 3 guys, if those 3 umpires, if they're involved in the ejection too, it's usually pretty good. Especially that balk. If you're a White Sox fan, I'm sorry. As um, Meanwhile, South or East have been pouring on runs against everybody else. The South had enough of it. They've had enough of it as McDowell hit a 3-run homer, and it's now 11-1. But the best, and it was a Joe West ejection, actually, in fact, as well, with Mark Burley. I know that video's roaming around about because Mark Burley had, like, I think he was called for, like, 3 balks in a row, um, and he got ejected. And that was when Hawk Harrelson was still calling
Yep.
games for the White Sox, which made it even better because Hawk Harrelson had no filter. So, like, there was confusion everywhere. Nobody knew what a balk was, and Hawk Harrelson's over here like, "You are beep, beep, and beep, and beep." Oh, man. It like, I could watch it. In fact, that's honestly why, and not a, I guess you could call it a plug. Um, that's why I love watching Close Call Sports on YouTube. Even though their ejection videos are very they lean towards the umpire. It's a technical channel. They explain the rules very well, which is why I like watching it. Because then you could learn so much. Like for instance, um, and we could talk. In fact, if anybody has opinions on this in chat, by all means, go for it. Um, the Robo Zone, the Robot Strike Zone.
Super
I
against it.
I, I highly recommend people watch that YouTube channel, not only because of that, but because
That's
of the strike zone that you see on TV. That everybody's like, the pitch happens, and it's like, oh no, the zone on the TV said it was a strike.
right.
What a lot of people don't know, that strike zone is wrong, like a vast majority of the time. As that is yet another home run by the South. This time, Colton James has now 19 home runs in Prospect League.
Yeah, he's killing it. That's insane. 19
Like,
home runs. I mean,
I
that's
think
like
we've only played
it's
like
like it's
30
he's hitting.
games.
He's averaging over one a game. I'm pretty sure. What are the records here? 'Cause I think the most wins someone had was 20, and there's been no 20 loss season. I think it's like 14, 17. So 2020. It's like the 32nd game of the season, if I'm semi correct.
Something along,
I'm in the
yeah.
ballpark. I'm in the ballpark on it, and 19 home runs. That's I'm not sure what the most ever hit is, but it's definitely in the index, and we can give it a look. But he's got to be knocking on that door. Too bad he's an Astros player, because I don't like him. But
By the way, I know chat's talking about brawls. Oh gosh, I think it was Reds and Cardinals. There was one with the Cardinals where it got all the way to the backstop. It seemed like everybody and their grandmother was like, I know it's the Cardinals. I don't remember who they were playing against. Because I remember it happened in St. Louis as well, but that was like a whole melee. I just don't remember who the other team was. Um,
wow, you
now I
ready for this?
Yep.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. The most home runs ever hit in a season was 17. Coming
Wait a
into
minute.
today. I, I'm looking at the single season batting record of the history in the index, and Hingle McCringleberry hit 17, 2058. So last
Yep.
year he
Yep.
had 17. So he has already set the single season home run record with by two, and we still have a whole week of streaming.
Um, Remind me again. How many games are in a Prospect League season?
In a prospect league season, it is
Is it
um
60?
four. Yeah, no, it's 54. 54.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Okay.
Yep.
54. So we're what did
We're
I say?
about
32 games in.
two
33 games.
thirds
We
of the
got
way in.
20 games left. 20 games left, and he's already two over the. I mean, a 54 game season, and he's already at 19 home runs, two over the all time record. So I don't know. Colton James is just
But
something else this year.
by the
Wow.
way, just looking at chat real quick, two things. First of all, I do wish we could go back to the days of you get beaned, you bean them back, we all good. Nowadays, you can't do that. Nowadays,
Wait,
you
sure
bean
you
somebody,
can.
all of a sudden, oh, you get a warning, you get a warning. Now nobody can pitch inside, and it's just damn man. Like I agree with that, Tim, and also Fetty. I don't know why I forgot about the infamous Bobby Valentine getting ejected and then like just chilling in the corner of the Mets dugout with a fake mustache. I don't know why I forgot about that one. That's a good one. That's a real good one too.
So here's a
Uh,
question. I just looked it up. How many ejections did Bobby Cox have?
oh, I want
It
to.
is it is it's a perfect number. I'll give you
It's a
that hint.
it's a ooh. I'm gonna say 100. Uh, I know it's somewhere around there.
162. He
Ah,
played an entire season, 162 games, 162 ejections. It is literally the perfect number of ejections to have.
So how
He's
much
the most ejected manager of all time, and it's the exact 162 games. I almost think he did it on purpose.
um how much did Lou Piniella have? I would imagine Lou is up there because Lou's coached a
64.
while.
He's number 13.
64.
Number 13 on the list.
Oh, Lou got to
Yeah,
do better.
Bruce Bochy's actually the highest active manager with 78. He's number 9 on the list.
Oh, I could see. I could see. Oh yeah, I've seen Bruce get thrown out many a time as a Giant. As this game is over, 12-3 in favor of the South. As I'm going to wish and hope and pray that in another life, Lou Piniella will kick more dirt on more umpires. Um, Looking at the box scores, Tiger Dawson 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, also got a double. What's funny is we were pointing out Hingle McCringleberry and how he broke the single season home run record last season. He only has 5 this season so far.
We are 33 games in.
So it's funny how that works out. Briston going 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Hector Roca 0 for 3, but got a walk and a run scored. And then for the East, Kadri 1 for 4 with a run scored. And then McFish 1 for 3 with a walk. Gill 1 for 4. Harris Rodriguez will get the win. Jack Nitro will take the loss. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, and then yeah, the South did win on the prediction. I was just about to ask myself, like, what was the prediction again? um,
I'm gonna put 30,000 on this next prediction for our last game. So
oh,
go
which
ahead,
is
make it
is
something
going to
easy. I'll
be
put it on hard.
where is it? Um, it should be South and yeah, South versus the North is going to be our last streamed game of the night. But first, let's take a look at North and West. It was basically opposite of what we just watched. 3-1 with no home runs in the whole game. For the North, Scotty Sterling 2 for 4, Winton 2 for 4, Wellerman 2 for 4 with a ribby. For the West, Slamdolf 1 for 3, walk and a run scored. Jonalis 1 for 3 with a RBI. Solo will take the win. Bakugo the loss. Bentley the save, and Italian Solo is your player of the game. Let's go ahead and save and advance. And I thank you, Tim. I see a prediction is up for our final streamed game
All
of the
right,
night.
predictions up. It is
Or no, I'm sorry. Never mind. I saw
done.
200 and thinking it was, and it wasn't. That was the previous prediction. We'll give uh Tim a minute or so on that. Um,
Might be
but
watching the ISL draft too.
yes, even though
Oh,
I'm
there it is.
technically an
Total
ISFL,
walks
but
over under 2.5.
um,
I'm gonna go under here, and I'm gonna put 30,400 points on it. So you guys do what you need to do with that. Luigi Toes, you're in line to make a couple $1 million. Maybe.
we'll give chat some time on that because I mean that's a very valid point. Yes, you're good. This is the final stream game, so yeah, you're good.
See? Told you was watching the
I
ISFL
I
draft.
I
I know what you're doing, Tim.
I, I
I
hope
I'm
I
all
hope
over
that
it.
I hope you're getting drafted. I mean, what where do you think you're gonna be drafted, Tim? Like what's your vibe? Like what where you because I mean I know when I was draft in the PBE draft, I was like, man, I'm gonna be like bottom first round, maybe early second. Um, and then Twitchy and Mike shocked me to no end and dropped me fifth overall. Oh, mid to late. What position are you? Just so we can give some people some time to predict or put points in on the prediction if they want to.
They want to probably get a large sum of money.
Oh, slot receiver. I know that I my player in ISFL has been traded. That's because I'm technically technically I in ISFL. So um but I think I'm switching to O line. I think that's what I was told. Which is cool. I'm okay with that. I originally joined ISFL as a tight end, got convinced to switch to linebacker, became a linebacker. Don't know how I did as linebacker. One of these days I'll go log in and take a look. Um, and then now I'm going to be, I guess, O line. So cool story. Let's get on into this game. I see that
Right, we
prediction.
are no walks, no walks.
Is
I
it,
got
it's
60,400 points on this here.
instead of no whammies, it's no walks.
No walks, no whammies. Hey,
Um,
and you know what? Worst case scenario, everyone's gonna get a couple $1,000,000 who put some money on it. So
also making sure I
let it
didn't
ride.
miss anything else
There's a no
in
walk there.
chat. I
Luther
forgot
McIntosh. Big fan of
what
him.
what year did the Angels Mariners brawl happen? I feel like I vaguely remember that. I see Tim mention that.
We just had our first walk. We almost got on the top of the first.
Oh, was I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna have to find it. But Honolulu or New Orleans, man. I if only PBE, had a team from Hawaii. Man, wouldn't that be swell? Cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, we had one, and they abandoned Hawaii. So they abandoned Hawaii for the cold winters of Toronto.
which, which,
And
which is
it's
why,
funny when we actually it's kind of funny because when we lost Game 5 in the first round of the Voyagers, and our locker room immediately just started rebranding our team like Trash Pandas. we're like we gotta hide ourselves after that one. So we were all over. I mean, we had everything. We had all sorts of Middle Earth something. I mean, we that's what we did when we lost. We coped by rebranding. So I guess that's one way to cope.
I mean, if if only they would, win a ring, which I don't think will happen tomorrow. You know, just
I
a
don't think
just
so
an
either, but
inkling.
it could. I think it
Um,
could. I don't
I
know what the odds are.
I know I would be doubly happy if Cancun wins tomorrow. Um, not only because I'm on Cancun, but um,
I had the odds, so I picked Toronto and Lunar Base just based off of odds. I just did straight who's gonna win. I had Lunar Base winning at a 60.8% clip over Toronto. Um, then again, I had Lunar Base beating you guys at also at I don't know 58 point something clip. I don't know though. Who knows? I think you guys are probably favorited percentage wise.
potentially, I know I was very close to being perfect up to this point because I had Cancun and Voyagers as my
Ooh,
World Series prediction. Obviously, I chose Cancun. I was like, I believe. Um, so I mean,
I mean,
I,
I
I
did the same with the Surge, even though I knew. I mean, I had us losing 43.2% of the time in the first round. Uh, but I'm gonna ride. I'm a GM of a team. I gotta believe in my team, so I'm just gonna let it ride. But I had Toronto and Providence, Toronto, New York. So I had the Legends side perfect, and then I just failed to put Lunar Base or put you guys over Lunar Base. Which you know, I'm an idiot. That's what that shows. So
Also, as a side question, the Cove in right field at y'all's stadium. Um, Obviously, it's not McCovey Cove.
Niagara Falls. It's we actually just they built the stadium right on the park there. It's actually on the Canada side, but we're still Buffalo, kind of like how it's the New York Giants, even though they play in New Jersey, you know. So
So basically, you pull the Blue Jays, is what you did.
exactly. Why not?
The one
Yeah.
preseason.
I actually
Oh,
I
Tim.
hate that that's. I actually don't like that that's our stadium, but
Oh, I don't either. That's why I said that. I think it's it every time, and I don't know if you have ever noticed me in chat every time a Buffalo, except for obviously the playoffs, because I think I was watching, I was doing some, I was multitasking, but usually when Buffalo's on stream and they're playing at home, it's like, so why are we in San Francisco
yeah, I have no idea.
for
I
like.
actually have no idea how the stadiums get picked or picked. How they did get picked back in the day. I have no optics on that. I could probably change it if I wanted. Be the GM. I'm actually the longest tenured GM at Buffalo at this point.
Oh, so yeah, see, so yeah, there you go.
I
So
think
now
I just did two seasons.
we need to do a petition to petition Buffalo to change their stadium. That's exactly what we need to do. So then that way, we don't need to watch, because I think Buffalo's the only one where it doesn't make sense as far as what
No,
stadium they play in. I could
uh,
be wrong. It's
I
been a while.
yeah, I'd like to actually. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably have to look into that at some point. Something fun. Just man, finding the time to do those fun things in this hobby. It's really difficult.
But yeah, y'all are preparing just like us minor league GMs, for the drafts that we have coming up. We do have so for those watching, this season's going to be a little bit different as far as when the draft stream is going to be, and by that I mean the majors draft. Considering that the majors draft stream, if it were to be on the day that it usually is, would coincide with U.S. Thanksgiving. So we're obviously not gonna have a majors draft on that day. So I believe it's gonna be the day after. I don't believe it's anything official on that. Um, but I can tell you that the majors draft will, or, sorry, the minors draft will be that Saturday evening, since I'm the one
Yeah,
doing it. Um,
I think so. The majors draft this year was moved. I think to Saturday is. Oh, I shouldn't speak on it.
um,
It was moved because of the holiday.
I believe it
I
was
know
moved
that.
to that Friday. I mean, I know AJ is doing it. I don't know if there's anything been set on that. I know I can see. I know I can speak for the minors draft since I'll be the one doing it. But you
There
gotta
it
know.
is. Yeah. Oh wait, you know what? It's in the streamer sheet. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
here, Tim. I'll help you out. I'll help you out, Tim. You gotta know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Don't ask me to be a singer, but and you gotta know when to walk away. Is and the North just storming back. They've taken the lead 4-2 here in the top of the sixth. Out of town scoreboard top six. West leading the East 4-2.
Let's see. Sometimes, sometimes I'm not very computer literate. I
Oh,
think
here I
we're on
can.
pretty computers.
Here I got it.
Uh, you got it.
Because we're gonna talk about the
So yeah, no,
upcoming
there we
streams
go.
anyway. So at least I usually talk about upcoming
Yeah.
streams. So while we're on that subject, we can definitely talk about it now. It's not a
Oh,
problem.
it is Friday. Friday, November 24th is the
Oh,
major
there is a
draft.
time actually. Yeah, so tentatively
7 p.m.
at 7 p.m.
Eastern.
Eastern. Yep. Actually, I guess while I'm here, hang on. I guess while I'm in the
Why are
sheet,
you
I might as
Yeah,
well
when
fill
you're
in.
add your name. Watching it, I get to watch this in real time. Very exciting. The world of the internets.
since I'm doing
Uh,
that and the oh no, ooh, no, 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 I don't want to do it at that time. No,
what?
no, no, I don't want to do it at that time. That's a Sunday. There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
upcoming
you pick.
streams. So
Okay.
we do have double header action tomorrow night or tomorrow. Rabid will be doing the Miners World Series at 1 p.m. Eastern. I do not see a co-host for him for that. And then Aircrew will be doing the Majors World Series at 8 p.m. Eastern. Um, and I know there's a tentative co-host for that. I mean, it's not official on the sheet, so I won't say. But I think there might be a co-host with that as well. As far as Prospect
There will
League
probably be
goes,
a co-host with each. I can't imagine the World Series can go without a co-host.
I didn't see one for Miners World Series. I know there's been talk about one for the majors, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to put another streamer's words in their mouth. So maybe
Put their name
stay
so
tuned.
that way we can hold them to it.
Nah. And then as far as Prospect League streaming goes, we'll be back at it Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be myself and Chadwick in the booth. And then I don't think there's been an announcement for the Tahini. I know it's going to happen sometime either next week or or the following week. So stay tuned for that. That's another special off-season stream that we have. Um, Usually good old Hummus God that takes care of that. That's his pride and joy. As Hector Roca, dinger time, first home run of the Prospect League for Hector Roca. And the South cut it to a 4-3 deficit.
This is actually the most interesting game we've had, I think. We've kind of had some blowouts, if I recall, except for that first one. It was
We
a pitcher's duel.
we will stick
But
with this just because this could get interesting because we are in the later innings. But to finish my thought super quick, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern will be myself and Chadwick as well. And then 1 week from today, mark your calendars, it's going to be the Prospect League playoffs. One
I will
week
be there.
from tonight. And yeah, we could hopefully we have at least a two
Might
man
have a
booth. We may
full
have
booth.
three. You never know.
Might have four.
More the merrier. Um, that will be next week at 7 p.m. Eastern. So mark calendars for that. And then we already talked about the majors draft. Minors draft will be at I don't know why, but this is what I get for multitasking. Same time as the there we go. So oh no, duh. I'm looking the way that the sheet works.
Are you in the wrong?
Season. Okay, that's
You're in the
better.
wrong
That's more.
season.
I was looking at this season for Prospect League. Miners draft is going to be November 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Actually, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. I just realized the problem.
It's your mother's birthday.
No.
Oh, it was
How are
too
we going to
guess.
do how are we going to do Prospect League playoffs at the exact same time as the Majors draft?
Well, we can move. I mean, are you able to move that time or not
So
really?
stay tuned. Stay tuned on the time for the yeah, I'm
Because
gonna
we have
have
to
to
play ball game.
and yes we do. As I'm multi
Ah,
Leon Riston just tied the game.
Leon Ridsden, the
Oh
fifth
my goodness,
grade,
could we get
today's grade.
free baseball? We're heading to the bottom of the ninth. It's going to be top of the order for the North and Jonas Martinez to face Duke Smith. Swing and a miss, strike three. And now Scotty
You expect
Sterling, who is red hot. What can Scotty Sterling do here? And that's a base hit up the middle. Winning
six
run
hot.
is on for Ty France Jr. And that's going to be a base hit. Winning run in scoring position for Jaden Zielinski.
Jaden
Popped up
Zielinski,
foul
it looks
territory, caught for out number
like that
two.
is not what you want there.
Lindsay
Any
walked.
walk.
Bases loaded for
Top
Stanley
of the ninth,
Bloom.
2 outs. He's cold, by the way.
Walked in a run.
Oh,
Walk. Oh my goodness. A
walk off
walk-off
walk.
walk.
Bases
A
are full.
walk-off walk.
Which is fitting because that was our prediction was walks related. So, uh,
It was
wow.
so close. It was so close to a walk-off balk. I think we've had a walk-off balk in Prospect League. I almost want to say we have. I will point out, I don't think we've seen a balk yet on stream for this season of
I've
Prospect League.
not this season. I saw one last season, I believe. I know I've seen one in the Prospect League before, but yeah, probably not. I haven't seen any other streams, so
Yeah, that is probably the most Prospect League thing we've seen, at least tonight. Um, I think we've seen more Prospect League things, but definitely tonight. And actually, I guess maybe this season. I can't think of any other moments this season. So potentially, yeah. Um, take a look at the box score. Hector Roca 1 for 2 with their first home run of the Prospect League. For the North, Scotty Sterling 3 for 4, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Winton 1 for 4, Wellerman 1 for 3 with a run scored. With that hit being a double. Hosh Yater will take the win and the blown save. Smith the loss. Scotty Sterling is your player of the game. And then for the West and the East, it was a close one there as well. 5-3 in favor of the West. Taking a look at the box, 2 for 4 for Slamdolf. 1 RBI, 2 runs scored. Third home run of Prospect League for Grand Slamdolf. 2 for 3 and a run scored was Zach Hartman. For the East, Cod Ruru 1 for 5 with a double. I McFish 2 for 4 with their sixth home run of Prospect League. Garoppolo will get the win. Bill Pitt the loss. Washburn the hold. Kylo Ren the save. Jimmy G will be your player of the game. And then I believe we have 2 more days to sim through. I just saw where there it is. Yeah, we've got 2 more days to sim through, and there'll be quick sim days. So South and the North. North will get the win 10-5.
Fruit
Tiger
of Loom
Dawson
just got
was
five
that?
million dollars to stream. Fruit of Loom made $5.4 million this stream. Well, hey, that's what you get for coming and hanging out in the Prospect League world.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hang on, let's make more work for Tim. Hang on. Um,
Yes, gotta
let's
make sure
let's
you.
let, let's make more work for Tim because I bet on that too. So thank you, T Dan. I need some monies to my account.
I have a feeling you didn't need it. Oh yeah, their free or lose about to redeem a lot.
I mean,
I
ain't
know that
nobody going.
Chico's even got 6.4K from that, and he
I
only
would.
bet 200.
I mean, none of us. I mean, even if we were to combine all of our points, I don't think we would have enough as much as AW did. I think was it like last at the end of last season cashed out like I think the count was like 52 because
Wow.
I remember seeing the payout for that because there was a couple he did so many redemptions that they lost track. It was like 52 or 53. It's like, oh
Oh
my
wow.
goodness. Like it just kept going. Um but for the South, Cassie's catch also had went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Riston 1 for 4 with a walk. Hector Roca going 1 for 4. For the North, Scotty Sterling 1 for 4 with a RBI and a run scored. Winton 2 for 3, 2 walks, 2 runs scored. Bradley Wellerman 1 for 3 with a run scored. As far as the pitching goes, Mitchell will get the win, Reynolds the loss, Yater the save, Jaden Zielinski is your player of the game. And that should, and actually before I advance today, let me just double check to make sure because do tend to lose track. Yep, got one more day. So final day for this stream.
Colton James hit another home run. Is he at 20 now? Oh,
We're gonna have to look at his
yeah, we're
I,
gonna have to pull up his blue. Yeah,
oh my, 4
let's let him
runs. So
west.
first of all, he's had a 6-run bottom of the fourth go up 6-3, and then a run in the seventh and 4 in the top of the ninth for the West to come back and get the win 8-6. For the West, slammed off 4 for 5, 3 ribbies, a run, one of those hits being a 2-run home run. John Lewis 1 for 5 with a ribby. Hartman 1 for 3, ribby, and a walk. For the East, Codroroo 2 for 4 with a ribby. I McFish 1 for 4 with a run scored. Giel 2 for 4 with a run scored. For the pitching, Bentley will take the win, Catch the hold, Weiser the loss, Wren the save, Grand Slam Dolph player of the game. Um, as we take a look at our last game of the stream, South and the North. And it's going to be the North winning it 3-2. For the South, Catch 1 for 4 with a run scored and a double. Hector Roca 1 for 3 with a hit and an RBI. For the North, Scotty Sterling 2 for 3, Winton 1 for 3 with a run scored. Wellerman 2 for 3, RBI and a walk. Shirazi will get the win, Millis the loss, Whiplash the save. Zia Shirazi is your player of the game. And that takes us to the end of this particular episode of the Prospect League. However, first, let's take a look at the standings. And it's still, I mean, we're only talking about 5 games from last to first. It's still very close.
It's pretty tight. So I think historically one team usually takes a lead, like pretty dominantly. And this is actually one of the more this is one of the closer standings, especially at this point in the season that I recall for the Prospect League. Usually three are pretty close, and or two are ahead and two are close, but kind of even up and down the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially the second, third, and fourth. We're only talking about 2 games separating those 3 teams. And we've also seen in other prospect leagues where, at the last couple streams of that season, the top team maybe falter a little bit. So this is going to be a very interesting final week of prospect league for this season, especially heading into the playoffs. Let's take a look also at the league leaders before we head head out. There, Codroroo still leading by quite a wide margin on batting average. We're talking about Colton James.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's incredible. He's got 46 RBIs. Uh, the league for 58 is the single season record. So he's only 12 off of that, and he's already captured the single season home run record uh, with 20, beating out his teammate Hingle McCringleberry, who had 17 last year. So yeah, he's crushing it, and there's just no way he keeps that up, right? Like he's gonna end up with 23, right? I mean, who knows? We'll see.
Um, he shows is on pace. He currently is
Wow,
on pace for 30.
what's his? What's it? When you hit editor, what does it show?
Yeah, I was. Oh, I don't know if that.
That does not look correct. What is he's the third
Well,
baseman
the
for the
BABIP's
South?
really low though,
Uh,
and the fielding looks pretty low.
yeah, I mean that could be.
I do admit that does look, especially
Colton
this one looks pretty
James.
way too high.
Yeah. Well,
For those who are curious, TDenstroyer, like, he's one of 3 people that manage the file, like, on the backside?
uh,
I
yeah,
don't
I mean, there's a few of us,
or
Punk,
the
Punk
main people.
32, Enoch, Parkwood, and myself. I mean, I've not this season. This season, actually, I've done nothing.
You've been under the
As
weather.
far as yeah, well, I was sick last week, and then my parents were in town actually for the first time in like 18 years. They decided to come stay with me for like a month. So
Oh,
that was. I mean, everything went good. It was just a lot of work, always entertaining for people for a month, on top of running a majors team. So unfortunately, yeah, this is the first I'm really gonna see it. But historically, yeah, I do usually create. I would say at least half of the players in the season. But Colton James. The interesting thing about him is I can't even find him. Can't find his player page.
honestly, what I'm
Uh,
curious about, yeah, because even McCringleberry, hey, and McCringleberry
yeah.
has more contact,
So
though.
and so a lot of times, well, some of these players like Colton James, for example. Uh, yeah, maybe I can find it here.
Yeah, because
So we
pretty much
they
most
don't
of these people
change.
should have been a
So his
created
home
player from the
runs.
previous season.
What was his power at? So his power is actually should be 120 and 118.
Oh, 158. So somebody had a
158. Yeah.
typo.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, it should be 118. Well, and also sometimes the file just kind of changes some stuff. So in the regular file for the PB, it gets audited twice a year. The complete file, every
Yeah.
single player gets audited twice a year, spring training and week 3. So that the regular PB file has a lot of integrity. The prospect league file, this is how we audit it. Someone
Yeah.
hits 20 home runs in a year. We're like, wait a second. We just don't have the manpower to audit a five. It's a lot of work to audit a team. I used to be a SimFile auditor, and it takes time to go through an entire team. You go through the birth date down to the positional XP. You do every single player. The prospect league quite doesn't quite have the manpower to do something like that, but it gets solved. I don't think we're gonna see 40 home runs from him now, but hey, you know what? We'll say he did his steroids for a little bit. Okay, he,
um,
he
see, the thing is, he cut his finger and he had an infection, so he needed to use some ringworm cream.
there we go. So
Oh man. And to that point too, it is all and um for those who are first time seeing this, it is completely, as Teen Den just said, completely separate from the main file.
yes,
So
your,
while it
your
is
player's
funny,
performance here.
it's funny to see like a 19 player hit 19 home runs in this. On the flip side, if your player is not doing so hot, please do not take it to heart. Like
No.
this has zero effect on your player's PvE career. This is just for fun. Is what this is because
Something to do. Well, everyone waits for the minor league draft. So you
exactly.
create and you get to see your player with space stats doing something. Um, it's a lot of fun for us to run it, and we hope it's fun for people to see it. But yeah, this is not even the same file whatsoever that the PBE file that the normal majors and minors runs in. And I can promise you, I can say with 100% guarantee that there is no way that the file in the game, like the worst you see sometimes is when you're auditing, you might see like a left and a right switched. Like someone accidentally put attributes for the left-handed pitcher, the right-handed pitcher spot, right-handed pitcher, the left-handed pitcher. I've never seen someone in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players I audited. I've never seen someone with an absolutely egregious high conflated number like we just saw here in the Prospect League. So you can be confident that the PB file is very well managed, and the Sim team does such an incredible job. I mean, hours and hours and hours of work every day, going in there, putting in the changes for the GMs. Fortunately, here at the Prospect League, you are not dealing with professionals, as we said at the beginning of the stream. So,
But exactly, and
It's
shout
probably
out
me. I probably put that in. I'll take the blame
yeah,
for it. But
um,
either way, it's gonna create a good story.
shout out to all the like as you were mentioning, there's a bunch of people that work in the background, whether it be the auditors who audit all the team's builds, and usually like the most that I see is like, oh, their jersey number should be this, or their height is wrong, or their weight is wrong. Like little like things that don't actually affect the player all too much. And if it is an attribute, from what I've seen, it's only like we're talking like 2 or 3 points, if that. But shout out to
Yeah,
all of those guys. Shout out to, as you were also mentioning, the updaters. Um, not only like the people who update for like each player and getting that sent to the file, but also um, people who set up like the lineups. I know how late they go into the file and get all that stuff done, so we can have a good time and make the streams a lot easier. So shout out to all of them. Also shout out to the wonderful, talented individuals who take care of our graphics, um, that make our streams look really good, especially for us that are very uncoordinated with anything artistic related. So shout out to them. Also shout out to Enoch and all the other guys who do like offline file and index work and all that. It's a true team effort. Completely volunteer ran league. And as we were mentioning all throughout the stream too, this is also the time of the season, more so next week probably, as we're in the official off season. As far as jobs, um, I will say, if you're new to the league and you're like, want to make a little bit of money, I don't know if Tim is still around, but a good first job that I always point new people to, if you're around to watch the Twitch streams, you may want. Usually, I know Twitch mods. Usually, that's a job that opens up usually during the off season. Get yourself some easy money while watching the stream. Maybe make a couple predictions if you want. And then also sometimes like the bankers, the wonderful, wonderful bankers. I know that job tends to open up as well. I know we talked about the balancing job as well that got posted today. But yeah, shout out to everybody who does all the good work to make our lives easier and make us seem like we're smart professionals, even though we're not. Um,
yeah,
but I left the scoreboards up. Usually we talk about, but we're talking about other important things. We fix an error. So but hopefully y'all had a chance to see the scoreboard or the leaderboards. Index should be up in a relatively short fashion. So but let me go ahead and save and get this sent. Just for, even though this is for fun, um, I'm still gonna do it on stream anyway, just for disclosure. Nobody's thinking that even it's so short. Too bad we didn't have a chance for um ask the booth. This is
yeah.
too small of a file to do ask the booth. E- Evok is the bank head of the
Bank
bankers,
lead. Yeah,
banking head.
Evac is
Yeah,
bank lead.
I was like, I had the words in my head, but yeah. But yeah, Evok is the banker head. I know I mentioned mods. That'd be Attica. Attica's the head of the mods. Or if you're looking at the PBE Discord, the robot overlord. Um, and yes, I do want to point out some. I'm gonna be. I think I'm gonna be more disappointed than Enoch if we do not have a Cove in a prospect league for a second consecutive season. I know I'd be
Really?
disappointed. That means less. I know some of the other streamers, they don't even want to bother trying to pronounce all the Cove's names. I think it's funny. I try every
So
time.
against Coves, and then the Cove Army took me out. So I'm afraid to speak out against the Coves. So I'm just gonna nod my head and agree with you. Coves are good. All hail the Coves.
Liz, I'm here for
Got to me.
I'm here for the fun names and the whole story behind the Cove. That that's why I love like the story of Jose. Um, oh, I'll take care of that. I will. Man, it wow, we're doing something. See, T-Den, we're doing something right.
Yeah, okay, sorry for bothering you.
Or
No,
maybe. Can I not? No, let Atticus sponsor T.
that's just max power. That's literally just max power reinvented. That's just how you work.
uh, yeah.
That's just
So listen, this is what we're gonna do. Goodbye.
yep. There we go. Well, now
Goodbye.
no one will know why I said no thanks. They might just think I'm rude, but whatever.
And well, I guess that's how we're going to end the stream. I guess that's kind of a weird
Yeah,
way,
we're
but
kicking the bots out. No, in a good way.
we're
We're
I
streaming.
got to ban somebody today. Um,
There we go. That's cool.
I've put I have exerted my dominance. No, I'm just kidding.
You
Um,
did. You got to nerf Colton James. You got to ban someone.
and
And
for full
Tim G was
disclosure,
picked third to last in the draft. I mean, that's Phil. So
oh,
one.
third to I missed that one. I was too busy. Oh wow.
If it makes you feel better, I was picked third to last in the PvE with TDenstroyer in the minors. So you don't have to worry about being picked third to last. Use that.
So I guess
Total wake up.
OTP, the main channel. I guess they're back doing their Friday streams. I know they haven't done that in a while. So I like to raid, and I guess the best place to go, or I guess the most obvious place to go, is the main channel for the Friday night showdown. I don't actually you know what. Actually, hang on before I do that, because I'm looking at the time. I'm like, wait a minute. This is usually. Let me peek into it because I don't want to raid something that's ending because I have a backup plan. There's somebody else I may want to raid instead, but let me just take a peek here and see. Oh, yeah, nope.
Yeah.
There's time. There's time. Yeah, they're doing call your shot, so that means they haven't. They're still in the middle of it. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and raid on in, friends. We had a blast tonight. Hopefully you did too. Hopefully y'all will stop by tomorrow. PBE doubleheader. Majors World Series 8 p.m. Eastern, Minors World Series 1 p.m. Eastern. But with that being said, T-Dan, any final words?
Uh, no, other than make sure you get your updates in. It's your, make sure for your minors GMs get to see that you know how to use the forums. If you have any questions on how to do anything in the league, head on over to the S45 Rookies server. We are all there. We're all happy to help. We're glad you're here. Um, we love the PBE and we love that you're here. So let's keep the ball rolling in the Prospect League. Looking forward to being back next week to see the final games.
I could not say any better. If you have questions, always ask questions. S45 Discord, like T-Dan said, best resource. So that's so many great people to help, including GMs as well. But I couldn't think of a better way to end that. Friends, stay out of trouble, take care of one another, and I guess we'll watch some more fake baseball. Let's go right on into the OTP channel. Have a great Friday night. We'll see y'all later.